on Sunday, 7 p.m. And I am here to give you a look at your forecast, not only as we wrap up the weekend, but also as we head into the work week. If you don't recognize my voice, well, my name's Marissa Walls, and I'm a meteorologist here at Channel 7, and I'm here to, of course, again, help you plan for the week ahead. It's going to be an interesting week. Yes, we have had some warm weather. We've had some crazy weather, especially last week. This week is going to be a lot more like winter yet again. We are wrapping up this weekend with still more snow showers rolling across the area. So let me get you back to radar, where you can see we do have quite a bit of snow continuing to move out there at this moment. As you see, the snow showers across the region, some steadier snow at this moment, mainly up towards northern Oakland County once my arrow goes on right there. So this is all moving to the southeast, and we'll continue to see the snow move through over the next few hours. I do expect the snow to end in the early morning hours of tonight, or early morning hours of Monday technically. So if you do travel early on Monday to go anywhere, please be prepared for some slippery driving conditions. But by the time most of us head to work closer to 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe 7:30, road conditions should be much better, as we aren't expecting that much additional snow, and by that point there will be more hours before the snow is done with. Tonight we are looking at about another half an inch of some snow across the area, so quite minimal. So far most of us have picked up anywhere from about a half an inch to an inch and a half of snow, but quite a bit of that did melt at times today, with the temperatures climbing just above the freezing mark for a short bit. But we do have more of this snow rolling on through, and as we take a look at what you can expect as we continue to move into the next few hours, there's a lot of snow showers across the area, which are going to continue to cycle on through. Again, snow showers will be ending by the time we get into early Monday morning, though we're still quite a few hours from that point, so it is going to take some time before we do get to that point. But here is a look at the graph model, which has had a pretty good handle on our weather recently, so I do agree with it that it is going to be dry by the time we get to about 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we will be looking at mostly cloudy skies and quiet conditions throughout your entire day on Monday. Temperature-wise, though, it is going to be chilly for your Monday. Our temperatures will be starting off in the low 20s across the area. Wind chills during this time, though, will be closer to 10 degrees. Winds are going to be out of the northwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, with gusts near 20 miles per hour. So it is going to feel cold as you step out the door tomorrow morning. Bundle up as you head towards the bus stop or as you head to work. As we take a look at what you can expect for your high temperatures tomorrow, we'll look at the entire 7-day forecast, because tomorrow's highs are going to be on the chillier side. Most of us will be in the upper 20s below freezing for the afternoon. Wind chills also will be in the upper teens for your Monday, but the good news about Monday is Monday will be quiet. We're not looking at anything, mostly cloudy skies, just chilly conditions. We do get into this week, though, and we have 2 days that I want to focus on. One is Tuesday into Tuesday night, and even a few more snow showers into Wednesday. This is going to be one snowstorm coming through, and then we have another one coming through on Thursday that could also bring us several inches of snow if everything pans out. So I want to take a look ahead at what we are looking at as we move into the week ahead. We're going to start off with Tuesday's system. This system is going to be originating in through central Canada, and it will be dropping in across the state as we move into your Tuesday afternoon. So it's slowly going to work its way towards us. Eventually we'll have snow showers arrive mainly after 6 p.m. on Tuesday, so we'll make it through a majority of the day with mostly cloudy skies and still dry. But anytime after 6 o'clock, that's when our snow chances really start to go up. We'll have one big push of some snow between about 8 and 10 o'clock, and then more snow showers will continue on and off Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. But most of our accumulation will be happening late Tuesday evening between about 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and our accumulation with this system will be around 1 to 3 inches of snow. So again, this is Tuesday evening through Wednesday early in the morning. We're looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow. Heavier snow amounts will be north, and then lighter snow amounts will be farther to the south. We are going to be looking at some impacts potentially to the evening commute depending on when those snow showers arrive, but overall, at least the timing looks to kind of pan out in that we should get through a majority of the evening commute before the snow begins, and then by the time we get to the morning commute, at least the steadiest snow will be done and over with. But again, we are looking at snow showers with our first system coming through as we move into your Tuesday. And I want to take a quick look here. I'm trying to find my map that I created and take a look at our snowfall totals, which you kind of can see there, a little kind of shaded look. But this is what we're looking at for Tuesday into Tuesday night and early Wednesday morning. So steadier snow north, then farther to the south. We're split pretty much 1 inch or less south of I-94, and then 1 to 2 inches between I-94 and I-69, and then north of that is where we'll get a couple pockets closer to 3 inches of snow. So this is only for Tuesday, not what's coming through now, and not what we will potentially see as we move even past Tuesday and get into Thursday. But I want to point out something here. We have snow expected Thursday, but there is still not agreement on the exact track of the system. Now, I want to kind of set the scene here before I put this into motion. This is Thursday morning, and there is going to be a snowstorm that does make its way kind of from west to east across some part of the Midwest, moving into the northeastern part of the country. Now, for us, we usually see our heaviest snows when we have a storm and its low is centered mainly through northern Ohio, kind of moving almost over Cleveland. That's when we tend to have our heaviest amounts of snow. Now, one model is forecasting that. The other model, though, the two of our bigger ones, we have the European and the GFS. Yes, there are other ones, but I'm just going to focus on these two. The other one doesn't have this happening. It has the low about 100 to 200 miles farther to the south, which honestly isn't a lot when you're talking about these systems, and it really has us missing out on the snow altogether. So I will show you both models here, but Thursday, I want you to keep an eye on this system as of now and kind of the forecast and as it's going to change, because we could either see several inches of snow or we may not get any snow at all, depending on the exact track of this system. And it's not a big system. I'm not saying this system's not going to happen, or I'm not saying this system's going to go all the way down through Georgia and Alabama and completely miss us. No, we're talking just a little wavering on the track. All right, I'm going to start off with the European model. This is Thursday morning. As we push on through, this system, as you can tell, is the one that's going farther to the south. So it has the low closer to the Ohio River, or the southern part of Indiana and Ohio and northern Kentucky. So that actually keeps a lot of the moisture, if not all of the moisture, south of us. So if this pans out, the European model track pans out, what it would mean for us is that we'd have little to no snow expected with that second system, as it would stay to our south. So keep an eye on that. But then we also have our GFS model, and this one you can already tell the snow is farther to the north. And as I put things in motion, this is the same time frame. This storm, or this model, has this storm's center going to move right across central Indiana and then kind of move into northern Ohio, and that puts us on that northern edge and then that northwestern corner of the system. And if that pans out, that means that we could be looking at several inches of snow. So several is more than 4 if we want to talk about it, which I've already gone down a rabbit hole on that before, that doesn't really mean that, but that's what I grew up learning. But yeah, we could be looking at quite a few inches of snow. So it really is going to be track dependent on Thursday's system if we get several inches of snow or no snow at all. So keep an eye on that forecast. I will say, though, there is some great agreement on Tuesday's snow. We are going to be looking at accumulating snow on Tuesday in the afternoon and into the nighttime hour. So that's for sure happening. And of course, we have the snow falling right now. That's also for sure happening across the area. So if you have any questions on it, let me know. Let's see, do we have anything else? Yeah. I was just reading some of the comments over here. You know, yep, I know we had the warm weather and we were like, maybe we're done, right, with winter? Well, no, we're not. But we do have a week to get through. We have this storm to wrap up, and then again 2 more on the way. If you want some hope, I'll give you some hope in our future and what to expect. We got some countdowns to talk about here. We are in our final week of February. So as we move into March, I will say, though, it is looking like we'll have a good chance of above average temperatures for March, which could mean less snow, not necessarily less rain or anything like that, but we could be looking at a better chance for rain rather than snow, because it does look like we'll have a better chance for above average precipitation for March specifically, but with warmer temperatures. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, with the start of March, that's actually the start of meteorological spring. Meteorological spring is March, April, and May, so that stays consistent. So that's just 7 days away. We're getting to warmer temperatures eventually. Daylight saving time, that also begins in 14 days, 2 weeks from today. We will be springing forward. So keep that in mind, springing forward, which usually means that we lose an hour of sleep. If I'm doing that right in my brain, yes. Also, astronomical spring, which starts March 20th this year, is 26 days away. And then at the very bottom, which we all wish was here a little bit sooner, astronomical summer, or the summer solstice, that is 119 days away. So far away, but we'll get there eventually, right? We just still have to get through winter right now. I like to think about it in the fact that, if we didn't have winter, we wouldn't be as appreciative of the warmth that we can see and the beautiful summers that we have here in Michigan, right? Am I right? I don't know, crickets. Anyways, all right, any questions that you guys have for the forecast? I'll go through it again. I'll kind of talk about what we have this upcoming week. I hope to make this more of a weekly thing, so if you want to tune in here on WXYZ-7, your Sundays at 7, I'm hoping to give you a forecast and outlook for the week ahead just to help you prepare. I will say the big forecast focuses for this week: a cold start to the week, and then we have snow Tuesday night, or Tuesday evening, we'll say, into Tuesday night, and then again on Thursday. Those are going to be the 2 storms that you want to watch this week. Temperature-wise, I'll backtrack all the way back to the 7-day. We're kind of still roller coastering in our temperatures. Yes, it's going to be a cold start to the work week with highs below freezing Monday, and then we will fall into the teens as we get into Tuesday morning. But you can see our temperatures do try to push 40 degrees on Wednesday, the day in between the 2 storms. And then we will be looking at 40s most likely again by the end of the week and into next weekend. So the one nice thing about this forecast is you don't see highs only in the teens or lows in the single digits, even though it does get pretty cold Tuesday morning. But we are warmer than what we saw a lot of January, if you remember how cold it was there. So we've got to give or take here. We're still in winter. We're still looking at some winter weather for this week ahead. But again, with the chances for those 2 snowstorms on the way. Let's take a look at some of the snow that we've got coming through right now, because we do have a decent amount of snow. This will load in just a second here. As you can see, this will loop on through. I'm going to pause it though so we can take a look at some of the heavier snow. I'll turn off and just focus on our radar here in southeast Michigan. So north of Pontiac right now, you're looking at some snow through Lake Orion, Brandon, also up towards Lapeer, looking at some steadier snow. Also kind of crossing along I-96 south of Wixom, near South Lyon, some snow. Otherwise, most of the other snow is fairly light right now, which is always good to see. Again, I don't expect that much more snow. At most, maybe about another ½ an inch of snow across the area. Hopefully, a lot of your snow that fell last night that you woke up to also melted on the pavement. Temperatures were close to the freezing mark, which makes salt effective. I know road crews were out too. And then we also had a little bit of filtered sunshine too with those temperatures close to freezing. So that also helped melt some of that. But still be prepared for slippery conditions as temperatures drop tonight. We are looking at lows to fall into the low 20s. So some of that, what was once wet pavement out there, could actually turn to ice. So be prepared for that. But we are looking at some chilly conditions to start off your Monday, and even our high temperatures on Monday aren't going to be that warm. I want to take a quick look at your highs expected for Monday. We will be in the upper 20s across the majority of the region, colder north than south, but still it's only about 5-degree temperature spread at best, from 25 degrees to maybe up to 30 in a couple spots. Wind chills though will be in the upper teens, so please be prepared for a cold feel for your Monday. A lot of clouds across the area too, hoping for a bit of sunshine later in the day, though likely going to just keep a lot of cloud cover across the area. So cold for your Monday, and then we focus on the storm systems as we get into Tuesday and then again on Thursday. I want you to take a look at Futurecast again. Some great agreement here that this is what Tuesday storm's going to do. It's going to start to the northwest and then drop in and move across the state, eventually bringing us snow mainly after 6 p.m. on Tuesday. We are looking at our steadiest snow though closer to 8, 9, and 10 p.m. and then the snow starts to taper down just a bit. That's when we're looking at our best chance to pick up some accumulation, though we will keep snow showers with this system throughout the day on Wednesday. They will be more isolated though, on and off, but continue almost all the way through the entire day on Wednesday, though most of the accumulation will be happening in the evening of Tuesday. Sorry, I'm trying to get all my times straight here. But again, looking at the snowfall for Tuesday specifically, we'll have lighter amounts south, steadier amounts north, 1 inch or less south of I-94, 1 to 2 inches between I-94 and then north towards I-69, and then looking at 2 to 3 inches up towards the thumb. So the northern portion of Lapeer County and Sanilac County is where you will be looking at more of the accumulation across the area. Again, we are expecting potentially a bigger, more impactful snowstorm as we get into Thursday. However, this is going to be track dependent. Again, this is the European model, which is keeping the storm far enough to the south. Honestly, the track is only about 150 miles even farther to the south than the GFS model is taking it, but that plays a big role in how much snow we could be looking at. This model with the slightly farther southerly track means little to no snow. So there's the potential that we may miss out on this system here in particular. However, if you have friends through Ohio, they could be looking at some snow showers. Then if you take a look though at this model, this is the GFS model, the Global Forecast System model. This one has us not only on the northern side of the storm, but close enough to the center of the storm that we're in that kind of perfect sweet spot that we may get a couple inches, if not several inches of some snow Thursday all the way through early Friday morning. So we may have some impacts across the area as we again move throughout the region. But it's really going to be track dependent on the system. So for now, I can't say yes, we're going to see a huge snowstorm that is going to take everything down and you're going to have to, you know, grab the bread and milk and all of that stuff. People who say that are just trying to hype everything up. What I can tell you right now, as someone who's looking at all this information, it really can go one way or the other. We just have to get agreement and a better sampling of the atmosphere ahead of this system to figure out where exactly this storm is going to be tracking. And that really won't happen until we get to about 36 hours ahead of the system, or so that would put us more so into Tuesday and then very early Wednesday even too. That'll give us a better idea of the exact track, because with this system Thursday, it's really going to be dependent on the track. If we get nothing or if we get several inches of snow. I'm just being honest here, right? You know, I don't want to lie to anyone. I don't like to make something so dramatic, even though you might need to be worried about it, but at the same time, it could miss us. So just keep an eye on that. All right, any other questions that you may have, you can keep them going down below, but hopefully I prepared you for the week ahead. Again, be prepared for cold conditions Monday, then snow late Tuesday, and then also that chance for either a lot of snow or no snow at all as we move into Thursday. I'll leave the 7-day forecast up so you can keep an eye on that to help you prepare. Thankfully, not necessarily as cold as what we saw in January, but it's still going to be cold, especially tomorrow morning, but there is some warmer temperatures coming. By the end of the week, we will be trending warmer with more temperatures into the 30s. All right, have a fantastic week ahead. I'll see you right here next weekend at 7.